Mr. Mwanza, welcome once again to the Political Podcast. This is your show, so please be feel comfortable. Of course, I'll ask my questions. At some point, the callers will join in. But I'll start. Just take us through the genesis of the Democratic Progressive Party.
Thank you. So the Democratic Progressive Party, Omwachidule, DPP,
okay.
in short, DPP, is a political party that was formed because of the realization that after 60 years of independence, we have a mismatch between those that are involved in politics, in leadership, and the majority that are actually left out on the side. So we were moved particularly by three ideologies. First of all, it was the economy of the country, which is number one. We don't believe as DPP, Democratic Progressive Party, that 60 years after independence, we can have a country as rich as we are, with gold, copper, diamond, everything that God has given us. A young population, arable land, and still, if you look at the poverty levels as we are speaking now, the poverty levels are above 60% of the Zambian population is poor. Meaning it kakala na bantu bali 10 ise 36 in this osauka. Tilibe nyumba, tilibe manzi, tilibe ndalama, tivutika kulipira marenti, tilibe nshito, tivutika kupeza chakudya. So that paradox that a country with gold, with sujilite, with emeralds, with arable land, and a youthful population still remains as a poor country. That was the first paradox that we needed to deal with as Democratic Progressive Party. The number two ideology was the issue to do with, first of all, unity in this country. We have a serious challenge. Our country is polarized. We are ethnically divided. And we have reached a point in this country where if you've got a point, and I believe what the point you have is a good point, but because you don't belong to my political party, I'll shoot down your point. So we have reached a level where people will support things they don't believe in, and people will defend things they don't believe in, but also condemn things that they know are true, but because they are being said by people who are not part of them. So politically, we realize that as a country, we are polarized, we are divided, and there was need to provide a platform where all of us can look at ourselves as Zambians and treat each other as brothers and sisters, as one Zambia, one nation, and believe that we need the unity of each and everybody to develop this country. The third one was the social aspect of it. I think we are going through a crisis as a country. The economic challenges have forced a lot of young people to do things that are morally incorrect. We have a problem of junkies. We have a problem of immorality. We have a problem of houses being destroyed. If you ponafipa mayanda, when you read the court reports, just 12 months, you've got 31,000 divorces. There's a huge social economic problem there. The crime rate is going up. There's a huge problem in terms of the social setup. So we sat from different walks of life. Imisepela, Ifikorwe, we said, how do we work together as a team, as a nation, to move this country forward? So if you look at our philosophy in a nutshell, center left, we want the private sector to thrive. Because we believe very strongly that what creates jobs is the private sector. So our focus is on industrialization to create jobs for the young people. The challenge we have in this country is, number one, there is a challenge of ownership and control of the economy. The economy is not owned and controlled by us Zambians. It is owned and controlled by foreigners. The means of production are owned and controlled by foreigners. If you look at our GDP, the gross domestic product, you'll see that 66% of our entire GDP is in the hands of foreigners. For instance, the largest contributors is mining, which accounts for about 72% of the entire foreign exchange that Zambia as a country receives. But the contribution of mining to the actual GDP of Zambia is less than 15%. Why? It's because mamaini yonse siyali manja mwa Zambians. Mamaini yonse yakulu yamene yasebenza, whether ni ba Mopani, ni ba KCM, ni ba CNFC, all the mines yali muminwe yaba foreigner.
Yeah.
We as a country, we don't have anything. If we come here, so the only thing that we have right now, nga bayimba firia kopa basenda bayamkushitisha, sujilat bayimba bayamkushitisha, bayimba emeralds bayamkushitisha, impia shonse shirafuma munoshaya outside. So we as a country are left with nothing. That's the biggest problem, number one. Number two, in terms of taxation, this government has allowed the mines to go on with tax-free holidays. They have made mineral royalty deductible, meaning that a company has to come to you and say, ba Chomba, twalipanga profit 20 million, so only 20 million kutumafuniamo tax yeno as government, which is 0.6%. But we know that how these companies operate is that they've got sister companies abroad, and they work as a huge network. So, for instance, they inflate their figures in terms of the cost, they inflate their figures in terms of the liabilities, and they go back to ZRA. Government gives them the VAT refund. So ngabaya mukushita fima equipment fima cool box twale tamba. Chi cool box cha ingira muno Mzambia. Aba chitire chi cool box kulia ku mine ku Solowezi kuya ku ZRA mukufaya tuwesheshe nimpia shesha VAT refund because we have bought this thing at this amount and the government has to get money and pay back, and we are spending billions of kwacha and millions of US dollars refunding mining firms. These are foreign mining firms, and they're getting the money and taking all our wealth outside the country, leaving us with nothing. The second problem is that we've given them tax breaks, tax holidays. Now, it's sad that Power FM, Ya FM, Beats FM, takwa abakumpirako tax break. Imwe pano pa Power FM, Ya FM, abana mayo abashitisha chikanda, takwa aba tax break. Ngano mwali kwa taka company ka no fye. As long as you don't meet ma requirements yaku ZRA, kuisa pano no kuisala this station. So we are so hard on our own people, but we are not hard on the foreigners when it comes to taxes. And this goes down even to the civil servants, Ababonfiba Boma, and all those that are working in private companies. We believe and strongly recommend that, for instance, the pay-as-you-earn threshold should be extended to 10,000 kwacha. That as long as you get 10,000 kwacha and below, we don't want to see a single pay-as-you-earn getting away from you. Yeah. Because the cost of living in this country has gone so high. The Jesuit Center for Theological
Reflection.
Yeah, they have told us that for a family of 5 people in Lusaka, for instance, you need 11,000 kwacha as your monthly income. Now, if you go around and check how many people in Zambia today abafola 11,000 kwacha, another 11,000 kunganda nibanga, because the majority of the people, if you look at just the government scale civil service, on average bafola ma 7,600 kwacha on average. When you deduct government deductions and on top of that mwabika pa maloni, abantu walikuwa takaloba kuma microfini, walikuwa takaloba kuma banki, walikuwa takaloba just with different people mayanda ma community motu ikala. You can imagine the level of economic pressure that our civil servants, that those that work in private companies are going through. So if you are getting 11,000 plus as your cost of living on a monthly basis, why should people that are earning 10,000 kwacha and below be paying pay-as-you-earn? We as Democratic Progressive Party, DPP, we are saying when we form government, we will increase the nanny tax threshold from the current amount, which is about 5,000 kwacha, to 10,000 kwacha. So ngamfola 10,000 kwacha and below, there will be no payment of pay-as-you-earn, because we need these people to survive. Yeah,
interesting. Now, I know you said, I don't know if it's your ideology, but you did say that you'll be center-right.
Yes, center-left.
Center-left. We have chat on that along the way. Now, I wanted to find out, was forming DPP the best option as opposed to joining forces with any one of the already prevailing political parties, aside from the ones that you've already been members of, obviously?
Yes. So our experience, for me, I've been in quite a number of political parties and I've gained a lot of experience.
Yeah.
And from our experience, one of the things that made us imperative for us to form the Democratic Progressive Party is because this is a new platform which is centered too much on young people. These other political parties haven't put the young people at the heart of their leadership.
Yeah.
For us, each pani chamisepela. But also we believe that our old generation have a lot to give to this country.
Yeah.
They've got the experience, they've got the wisdom, and they need to help us. Where we go wrong as our fathers or as our mothers, they need to continue providing that much needed guidance.
Yeah.
That's why our policy, our manifesto, our slogan, our belief is that DPP, Democratic Progressive Party, chawonse. So abaiche, abakulu, banamayo, bayufi, wonse. They need to use this as a platform. So we needed to create this platform for all the political parties. Now, that's a very important question. First of all, if you look, for instance, at the Patriotic Front, which is currently the largest opposition political party, this is a party that has been hijacked, and it is a party that is really being fought in court.
Yeah.
And it's a party which has got a leadership wrangle and the leadership problems going on right now. Our aim is that all the members of the Patriotic Front that are being frustrated, that are being wounded, that are being fought, all the members of the Patriotic Front, DPP, Democratic Progressive Party, they need to come and we need to work together as abana from the same house. Ku UPND, kwaliba imisepela, kwaliba bana mayo, UPND has been in power for the last 4 years, and the challenges that this country is facing, it doesn't choose. We all buy the same expensive fuel, same expensive rentals, same expensive transport, same expensive groceries, and we are providing the Democratic Progressive Party, DPP, as a home for all the UPND guys who feel frustrated and disillusioned. So this is a party for every Zambian who do not agree with the current level of load shedding.
Having said that, I know yesterday you announced, senior members of the party leadership, and among them I saw a former, a member of parliament from Afinga. And now that you're saying that you're welcoming party members of either PF or UPND to join DPP, any surprises? Maybe you know one or two that you'll be announcing in your leadership?
We'll keep it in the bag. But we
also announced a select few. Obviously, there's two others.
We still have 30 more seats to go.
Is it?
And we want the people to look at our setup in terms of ethnic balancing, in terms of gender balancing, in terms of age balancing.
Yeah.
We believe that this is a platform that all Zambians that don't agree with the current load shedding should use. When I was coming here, we delayed a bit because we had to go around looking for fuel. There's a shortage of fuel, and the ERB has just mentioned that there's a shortage of fuel. That also shows you, for instance, the failure by government to plan. We believe ourselves as DPP, Democratic Progressive Party, that the monthly reviews, for instance, for fuel are not sustainable, and they distort budgets and planning of companies. You can't review the monthly prices of fuel. Every 30 days you are giving a new price of fuel. That has a distortion in terms of planning and budgeting. For us, we propose that ERB must review the fuel prices every 3 months. That will give companies and individuals enough room to plan. But also, we propose that government must invest in storage facilities, because we don't have storage facilities.
Yep.
If we invest in storage facilities for our fuel, two things will happen. First of all, we will not run out of fuel because we will have enough reserves. Secondly, if we have storage of enough storage for our fuel, in case the prices at the international market go up, or our kwacha goes down against the major convertible currency, which is the dollar, which we use to buy fuel, it will not have an effect in the immediate term, because we have 3 months, 90 days cover. Government is not doing that. It's a proposal we're giving to government that they need to invest in facilities to store and preserve fuel. We need to have enough fuel reserves.
Yeah.
That currently is not happening.
Yeah.
So these are the challenges. I talked about mining sector, for instance, being heavily controlled and owned by foreigners. But it's not just that. The second, in the 67 GDP that we have, so there's mining, but also we have construction. Construction is one of the major contributors to the GDP.
Yeah.
Okay? In terms of the value, construction gets a lot of money. But you yourself, you're a professional constructor, you're a professional architect, you understand these things. All the major contracts of government are going to foreign companies, foreign-owned companies. Whether we say we are dual carriageway from Lusaka to the Copper Belt, abachita Phiri ni ma Chinese, ni ma Indians. Whether government is constructing schools, is constructing hospitals, the people that are given contracts to do all these things are foreign companies. Ama company ama Chinese na ma Indians. Our own people, our young people, our own Zambians, we have denied them an opportunity to have these major contracts, provide a service, and also create money. The challenge is that this money that foreign contracting firms are making, this money is being siphoned and taken out of this country. So we remain with nothing as a nation. The other thing is telecommunication. I know that you'll be opening the phone lines very, very quickly. Twalikuwa ta Zamtel, twalikuwa ta ba Airtel, twalikuwa ta ba MTN. Zamtel, which is our own company as a nation, a state-owned company, it has got the smallest share on the market. We have not invested in new technologies. We have not invested in marketing. We have not invested in equipment. It is amongst, actually, the smallest market share in terms of telecommunications. The largest are foreign-owned. MTN, which comes from South Africa. Yeah. Airtel, which comes from India. These are foreign-owned companies, and all the money that we are making, every time nga mwaya pa booth mwaya mkulipira kaliake neka mwatu maimpia mobile money, that transaction, the profit is going to India and South Africa. There is nothing that remains in this country. When His Excellency the Head of State was opening Parliament, he did mention that mobile money has now reached over 400 billion kwacha. Now, that 400 billion kwacha, all the profits from the 400 billion kwacha, all the rates are going to foreign countries, India and South Africa. There's nothing that remains in this country. Yeah.
Mr. Mwanza, we'll go into details in terms of what your plan would be based on what you are saying right now. But I wanted to just focus on the party scene in the country right now. DPP is coming on board, and you've said that the PF right now is under siege. So you are encouraging PF members that feel like the boat is actually sinking should join DPP, as well as those who are frustrated that the UPND side should join DPP. Now, how do you place DPP in the current political scene with, especially the opposition side? Don't you think too many political parties saturate the opposition vote going into the elections next year? And how do you place yourself among the likes of a more established Socialist Party or Citizens First?
Yeah, so there's theoretically the belief that if you've got a multiplicity of political parties, there will be division of votes. Yeah. But the results from 1991 to date show a very different scenario. Yeah. With an exception of 2006 and 2008, we have never had three political parties that have got the largest numbers. In 2006, we had the UDA, which was an alliance of UPND, UNIP, and FDD. Yes. UNIP had about 5 members of parliament, FDD had 12, and UPND had about 43. When the election results came out, the UDA as an alliance came out number 3, and Patriotic Front under President Michael Sata came out number 2, and the MMD came out number 1. The same scenario happened in 2008, where we had MMD, PF, and UPND. Yeah. That's the only time that we have had 3 political parties sharing the spoils at the highest level. Yeah. Aside from that, from 1991, 2001 elections 2011 elections, 2015 elections, 2016 elections, 2021 elections, it has always been a two-horse race.
Yeah.
So the rest of the political parties from number 3 to the number 17, 18, those who stands, if you put all their votes together in these elections, their votes combined have failed even to beat this number of votes. Number of votes of spoiled ballot papers.
Okay.
So the multiplicity of political parties is what democracy entails. That people need to have the freedom to choose which political party to belong to. These are the democratic tenets, and we should encourage that people must be free to join political parties of their own, have their own formation. But we as DPP strongly believe that we provide that platform for all the political parties for one simple reason. Our manifesto is very clear, it's very categorical. We are very different from a number of political parties in terms of our direction. We strongly believe that the reason why Zambia is poor today, the reason number one is because Zambia and Zambians do not own and control the economy. We do not own and control the means of production. Yeah. And as long as Zambia does not own and control the means of production and does not own and control the economy, it doesn't matter how many political parties we are going to vote in. It doesn't matter whether we join together and hold hands together. As long as we do not deal with the social and economic structure, which is about ownership and control, this country will go nowhere. But also, let me take this opportunity to quickly delve into the fact that we are open to alliances. That's why we are open to working with every Zambian who believes that Zambia, 60 years after independence, the load shedding 21 hours every day. That Zambia, 60 years after independence, we can't have a situation where people have no money. Abantu bale chula. Mumafoni mlifie tunkongole. Ngati mwaenda so mwanchecking mfoni mu kudu jumo unankongole. Fikiriza unankongole. Flexing pia unankongole. Tuonse tuma application tu hapa phone unatenga unankongole. We need to change that. And the only way to change it is to control and own the economy.
And I'm happy that when I asked the previous question, even in your answer, we went back into history of the election pattern, which shows that you've got experience in elections. DPP may be a new party, but you as an individual, you've understood the election pattern going back in history. Last election, 2021, the youth were the biggest demographic that actually ushered the UPND into power. Over the years, the 4 years going into next year, you knowing that the youth, actually the numbers may have increased. How are you positioning yourself to win that demographic? Because obviously the youth will not go away. The numbers are increasing. Yeah. How are you going to position yourself as DPP with your experience from an individual level to get the youth vote?
Very important question. And please allow me also to take advantage of that question. Yeah. Yesterday, the Democratic Progressive Party did write to the Electoral Commission of Zambia to ask the Electoral Commission of Zambia to extend the period for mass registration of voters, because they have put less than 30 days. And we believe very strongly that that is not sufficient because of a number of reasons. We have problems with network. We have problems with distances. Some people are living in rural areas. They have to travel. Logistically, it's tough. People have no money, transport, and it's difficult. Yeah. We have asked the Electoral Commission of Zambia that if they can extend the mass registration period to at least a period not less than 3 months. The reason is we want young people, more young people to register to go and vote. Okay. Because we believe that the majority is young people. Rightly put, 73.1% of the people that voted in 2021 were young people. So our focus is on jobs for the young people. Our focus is in tapping into this demography, which has got hundreds of thousands of young people that have gone to school. They have got papers, but they don't have jobs. Or they have jobs which are actually, they are being underpaid. They are doing, you are a systems engineer, but you end up being a cameraman because you can't be employed as a systems engineer. You have gone and done theology, or you have done philosophy, or you have done education administration at the University of Zambia, but you cannot be employed in the administration of the Ministry of Education. You are being employed as a teller, a bank teller at the bank. Yeah. So Our focus, if you look at every aspect of our social and economic policy, is centered on young people. If you look at agriculture, for instance, in the studio here, I was talking to the young lady, one of your staff here, yeah. Mandy. Mandy is a young person who is computer savvy, and she knows how to monetize the digital space to create wealth. Yeah. And there are so many young people like Mandy who spent their time on the phone and they are digital savvy. What we haven't done as a country is how do we take advantage of the digital space today to create opportunities, jobs, and investment as well as incomes for young people like Mandy. And what we propose as the Democratic Progressive Party are the following issues. First of all, we want the network penetration in this country to be moved from the current 64% to 90% of the country must have network by 2030. That will give an opportunity to young people like Mandy, young people like Troy, who is working here, yeah. to have access to use the digital space to make money. Yeah. Number two, we want to put up computer hubs. So we are going to put up hubs in each province and in each district where young people can go and learn digital skills. They can learn digital literacy. They can learn digital financing. And they can use different apps. We are in 2025, and the digital space is a very important space, and we need to invest hundreds of millions of US dollars in the digital space. Yeah. That way we are going to create jobs in the digital space for young people like Troy, like Mandy, and all the young people in the country who are not benefiting from TikTok, from YouTube, from Facebook, yeah. and other online platforms. If you look at our manifesto, we are projecting to create up to 150,000 jobs just in the digital space alone, providing training, providing equipment, providing financing for them to start new jobs, new businesses. They don't have capital. The largest problem with the young people today is they don't have the capital. Those that have gone to school don't have the capital. We as Democratic Progressive Party, DPP, in our manifesto have put aside a whole chapter just to deal with the digital space. So that is one side. Number two, if I look at Mandy, I look at Troy, and I look at many young people, including my son, who is 23, is that if you ask them to go today to get a hoi, mwapasa kambwiri, ababana, wakutie ndani na kambwiri mkalime, so angalime. Why are we not making agriculture as a business and as profitable? We as Democratic Progressive Party, to have more young people go into the agro sector, we believe that first of all, we need to invest in agriculture. There are so many things that we can do to make agriculture attractive and profitable. Yeah. One of the things is to invest in modern technology. We will provide mapping of this country in terms of which areas are favorable for which crop, which areas are favorable for which birds, for which animals. So we shall have a mapping of the whole country. If you look at Southern Province, for instance, ku Southern Province, bantu waku Southern Province basunga ngombe, yeah. basunga mbuzi. So ngati mufuna kuchita maximize Southern Province, all that you need to do are the following things. Number one, employ thousands of agro extension officers. That investment in agriculture, what the first thing we'll do is to employ hundreds of thousands of agro officers across the country. Those agro officers, veterinary officers, will tell the government, that's the job of these young people who have gone to school, is to tell the government, Kunok Southern Province is fertile tisunga ngombe, but the challenges which the farmers are facing in Southern Province are the following things. Number one, ni matenda. Number two, balibe ma facilities for dipping. Number three, ni compromise ya quality of the animals because we don't have improved breeds. So they'll go back to the government and write to say, look, here, to improve the breed, this is how much we need. To improve on disease control, these are the specific programs and projects we need to do to deal with the specific disease control for animals. And to increase on milk production, these are the following things that we need to do. And the role of the government is to create that platform, yeah. so that they help us. And just very quickly, if we do that, we will increase on the yield, we increase on the production of milk, we increase on the production of the quality of the beef, we can have the quality that we are able to export. One of the things you heard, there's a market for goats, for instance, in Saudi Arabia. Why are we not exporting? It's because of the quality of the goats that we have here is compromised. So we need to invest in the quality of the meat, the quality of the animals themselves, and deal with the matters of disease. But also, second thing is to invest in mechanization. But President, when he was opening the parliament, Vaisalandati, government yawe yabakainde ekirema nabapera ama-tools ku ya agriculture balimi bapasa ama-tools bali 9,200 farmers bachita benefit under a program called SAFF omwachidule SAF. So i program yapasa ma farmers bali 9,200 ma equipment, farming equipment. Now we are targeting small-scale farmers, and Chomba, we have 1.5 million small-scale farmers. At the rate this government is working, of only providing farming tools to 9,200 farmers in 4 years, 9,200 farmers, for them to reach the number 1.5 million of farmers, and remember this number is not stagnant, it is growing because the population is growing. It will take the president, Vakainde Summit and UPND, 637 years to go and provide the farming inputs to the 1.5 million farmers. So that's because there is no investment in agriculture. So we need to invest in providing mechanization and new technologies. In today's setup, if you look at the statistics that you can get from government itself, 67% of the entire arable land is not being farmed. So for us as DPP, we are going to provide the technology to do soil sampling. We need to know what can we grow in Eastern Province. Fish tu vametingalime kuchingola, vametingalime kuruapula, vametingalime kuchembe, vametingalime ku Southern Province. And these extension officers will provide us with that information. And based on that, we shall give farming inputs and farming medicines, farming support, farming chemicals based on a researched position. So that ngatabapasa tizibati this was akwanisa. Bafana venemandi na vena Troy, they will go because they know, first of all, they have been given equipment, they have been given capital, and government is working with the region to provide the market. Ku Congo, ku Mozambique, ku Namibia, bafuna vakudia. This we can negotiate with the neighboring countries to make sure that we provide the market for the young people. So you can employ another 200 or 300,000 young people in agriculture alone in 1 year.
Tell me, in your manifesto, the issue of energy is something that even before the current government came into power, it's something that was envisaged to happen in the previous government. It's not going away anytime soon. What plans do you have? You've mentioned right across there that we've gone up to 21 hours of no power as a country. So some businesses have suffered, others have closed. What's your plan as DPP with regards strategy towards energy and maximizing, energy use here in this country?
Chomba, because this is a serious issue which is destroying families, destroying businesses, and destroying small people who are running small businesses. Bachomba lelo ngati mwaenda mu mabucharies mukomboni. Mabucharies yanunga monga ni mumochari. Why? Because nyama ziwola mu mafridge. 21 hours you don't have electricity. Manyumba bamene bakwanisa kugulako tundiyo twakutibangafake mu fridge. Tuwola. Ise bamene stinga kwanise kugula sola, kugula mainveta, tigula tundiyo every day. And muziba lo mafunsa muzimai ndiyo zogula every day kumanja. Zivuta kupanga budget. Because every day mfulika mwaenda mwendo gula tumasose tuli 4 bana badia, mwagula tu nsomba tubiri mwatupala bana badia. This is a critical challenge that we face as a country, the issue of power. I was talking to some millers just last week. And they are saying the cost of production has doubled because some of them have to buy they have to buy 24 drums of fuel every week just to produce mealie meal, to produce feed. Think of this powerhouse which we have here. For you to run this station, you need a genset. How much fuel do you need every day? How much business do you have here to continue getting to fuel, diesel, and what to run this power station? How much money are you making from adverts? These things are free. This program is free. So the next thing is that Power FM, Ya FM, Beats FM, you will be forced to start laying off workers. And a lot of places are closing up. A lot of Tuntemba are closing down. Mumakomboni umu, batu mababa shopo, batu mabuchari, bama weldingi, bamene bapika bazimai, bama saluni, they have been hit hard. But it doesn't just only go there. We have forgotten about the students, the young people who are at colleges and universities. They have to study. How do they study when they don't have electricity for 21 hours? Now, these are the facts that I want Zambian people to listen to.
And if you took power next August,
yes,
this issue won't go away. How do you then propose?
It will go away even today. And I want His Excellency the President Hakainde Samichilema, and the entire UPND government to listen to this. And the Zambian people to pay attention to this. We as a country, our total demand for power is 2,400 megawatts per day. That's the total demand. With the current setup, we are producing 1,806 megawatts per day. That covers for 75% of all our needs.
Is that minus exports or before
no?
Exports?
The total production, total production per day.
Yeah.
ZESCO is producing 1,806 megawatts. That's total production per day. And the total at peak hour, we need 2,400 megawatts to run the country, to supply everyone, to light Zambia, 2,400 megawatts. So we are producing 75% of what we need as a country. Why are we having 3 hours of power when we are producing 18 hours of power? This 1,800 megawatts accounts for 18 hours of power every day, which is produced.
That is what
ZESCO in its current state today is able to supply 18 hours of power every day based on the production of 1,800 megawatts. So why are they supplying 3 hours of power? They're supplying 3 hours of power per day because they are selling the power that they're producing. So waleshitisha power to Namibia, waleshitisha power to Botswana. So Botswana, as we are speaking right now, their industries yale bomba ama industry yabo so apa abantu bali kumachito ku Botswana bale bomba basebenza ma industries ise kuno tankala because kulibe power boma yatu yagulisa power ku Namibia, yagulisa power ku Botswana. So I want again to repeat, what ZESCO is producing today is enough to provide this country with 18 hours of power every day. If this government cared for the ordinary people, cared for the industry, if they cared for the youths, if they cared for the jobs that young people don't have, if they cared for the businesses that are closing up today, the first thing that they should have done, and this is the first thing we would do as Democratic Progressive Party, DPP, is to stop the power exports until we have enough to supply the local market.
Those are contractual, so how do they?
Yes.
How do you handle the contract aspect?
I'm happy
the legal
that
aspect
you've raised the issue of the contract.
Southern African power pool. That's part of
Every contract has got what we call every contract of such magnitude, nature and magnitude in terms of the money has got what we call at law as force majeure. So the contract must have cappings or force majeure that you can in a crisis you can effect. For instance, you can't sign a contract that will provide you with power with or without rainfall. No, a contract that ZESCO has signed must have a provision that we shall supply power to foreign countries on condition that A, we are able to provide power to our own people, or B, that we have got sufficient waters to produce the power. We have had a drought, so of course the power generation capacity has gone under. So unless ZESCO signed the contracts where they didn't put in clauses to protect the country. And this is the reason why when we talk about transparency and accountability, we demand that ZESCO must make public these contracts that they are signing with foreign companies. They must make public so that Zambian people can see for themselves. Because in a normal setup, ZESCO should not go home and sign a contract without limits. a contract ZESCO must sign should have those cappings, those cappings, or what you call hedges, to hedge and protect the Zambian people. But if they went ahead and signed contracts which are open-ended, and these contracts are saying we are going to supply you power with or without rainfall, with or without enough water, then there's a problem. So the following things must be done immediately. First of all, ZESCO must reduce the amount of power they're exporting. Just by reducing the amount of power they're exporting, they are able to give us even 12 hours of power per day. Do you know how much it will improve if the economy will improve if ZESCO would just supply maybe 10 hours of power per day? And then they can export 8 hours. But 10 hours every day they're giving us. For us, we demand that ZESCO should export 3 hours of power and provide the Zambian people 15 hours of power. Because power is the engine of our economy. And for as long as we don't have power, there is nowhere we are going.
Yeah.
Number two, these are important things that Zambians must again remember. In May, the ERB, Boma, government yandu, inakambati tichite increase ma tariffs. Reason ya mnema nakambira kuchita increase ma tariffs, benzo kambati ma tariffs yatu yali low, so tikachita increase electricity tariffs, tizankala with enough power, enough money to provide enough power.
It attracts investment in
yes,
power. Yeah.
That's what they told us. They said that the emergency tariffs are important to attract investment. They increased the tariffs in May, and they told us they will improve the supply of power to up to 9 hours per day. They implemented the tariffs. Zambians are paying those tariffs, but the power supply has deteriorated from 9 hours promised to 3 hours. Today, as we are speaking, the Energy Regulation Board, ERB, have again said they want to increase the tariffs again for the same reasons. Zambians must say no to these tariffs, because they told us if they increase the tariffs, they will increase the number of hours that they supply power. They have not increased. So why should Zambians again pay more for a service they don't get? Number three, ZESCO, and these are things that I want Power FM to follow through. ZESCO has signed contracts with the independent power suppliers. But Light to Namibia, to Botswana, they are not using ZESCO directly selling this power. They are using middlemen. Now rikakoma middlemen. Bale panga impia. Bapanga maafu. So they are more interested in making money. That's why they are hell-bent at selling power, because for them it's cool yamo. It's about making money. They don't care the damage they're making to the economy. They don't care the damage they're making to the people's lives. They don't care. We thought that the president had told us that there will be no middlemen in fuel deals, that there will be no middlemen at ZESCO. But ZESCO middlemen. Can ZESCO come out in the open today and tell the Zambian people, the middlemen, the companies they have contracted to supply power on behalf of ZESCO, and why is ZESCO not supplying power directly itself? Because that's the money that ZESCO needs to invest. For us as Democratic Progressive Party, we believe in the following things going forward. One, exports must be reduced. Export 3 hours of power, provide 15 hours of power to the Zambian people. Yeah. Number two, those contracts they have signed with middlemen must be cancelled. ZESCO must sell the power itself, and the money must come back to ZESCO. Number three, ZESCO in the last 4 years have fired, separated, and sometimes sent some people home. We've got trained, experienced engineers that are home today. ZESCO, others are being paid. They're on payroll. They're being paid every day. But they are seated at home. And it's not only at ZESCO. It is in different ministries. We appeal very strongly to the conscience of those in leadership that the young people, the old people, the experienced engineers that they have chased from ZESCO on flimsy grounds must be brought back to ZESCO. Yeah. We need that human resource, which is experienced, which is educated, to lead ZESCO. We have never had this kind of load shedding in the history of this country. This is the worst we have ever had. Can they bring back those engineers they have fired? The last point I want to make. I want to
open phone lines.
Yes, before you open phone lines on the issue of ZESCO.
Yeah.
We have Batoka. Batoka is able to bring 1,200 megawatts of power on stream. Why is government not investing in Batoka? There's a lot of investment that has been done already. Why is government not finishing the Batoka project? We have energy mix that we need to have. Power should be thermal, solar, and nuclear energy. There are projects that PF started, projects that stalled as a result of COVID.
Yeah.
Why is government not investing in those projects and finishing them? But also in technologies. Do you know that Kariba dam that we have today, you can double the capacity of Kariba to produce electricity by investing in new technologies? And also, you can store your electricity by investing in new technologies to deal with power storage. So we urge the government to go back to the projects PF started, projects that stalled after we had COVID. Can government reinvest in those projects and finish them? We need power, because power is the engine of the economy.
Yeah. Has Marvin been part of PF? We thought if you came into power, would you continue those projects?
Those projects are major projects that we need. Mm-hmm. And today, if I go into office today, one of the things that we are going to do is an assessment of all the PF projects that we stopped in 2020, 2021 as a result of COVID. Some of them were below 80%, were 50, 70% done. We need to do an assessment of all those projects. Yeah. Those that are viable, we need to invest in them. Those that are not viable, we need to abandon them. Even the UPND, all the projects they will do, those that are not viable, we will abandon them. But those that are viable and they will leave them halfway when they leave office, we have to take over, do an assessment, and invest in them. Yeah. Remember, government is a going concern. So UNIP projects, some of them were finished by MMD. So these projects that PF started, especially in the energy sector, yeah. PF had a lot of projects in the energy sector. Government must invest and finish those projects.
Yeah, interesting. You are listening to Mr. Antonio Mwanza, who is the president of the Democratic Progressive Party. He's here with us on today's political podcast. So I think it's time to invite the listeners and viewers to join in by calling. So you can call Zamtel 0955 997 997, MTN 0961 690 487, Airtel 0979 192-485. Feel free to call in, and please, as you do, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from. We'll keep the call to at least 40 seconds. We'll take about 3 calls, then allow Mr. Mwanza to respond to the 3. So as we wait for those calls to come through, we already have a caller. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
This is Aaron Nyirenda calling within Lusaka. Good morning, Mr. Mwanza.
Good morning, Nyirenda, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Sir, you are speaking very well, and I like the way you are coming out. Indeed, in the political circle, sir, we need new ideas. Mine, just few questions, or maybe I would like clarification. You've mentioned to say that with the wrangles that is happening in PF, the door is open for PF members, even those from UPND, to join. Right now, you are of the view that Zambians are complaining that the leadership of UPND is not good, and the Zambians voted PF out because they believe their leadership was not good. Don't you think, sir, when you bring those people which the Zambians chased, don't you think this will also dent the party and the reputation and all the ideologies that you are standing on? Don't you think that you can even manage to work with new brains just by training them, so on and so forth? Also, I would like to find out, though you didn't discuss it, but I would just like to hear your comment as someone who is patriotic Zambians. What is your comment on the impasse going on between the Lungu's family and the government as regard to the funeral? Precisely, what is your position? Where should Mr. Lungu be buried? Because we are of the view that Mr. Lungu was close to you, but regardless everything, where would you like Mr. Lungu to be buried from? I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Aaron Nyirenda. So that is Mr. Nyirenda from within Lusaka. So we'll try and get some more calls, Mr. Mwanza, to allow for you to respond. And I like that he's able to ask something that I was going to avoid to ask for obvious reasons, because obviously it's gone for too long. But please feel free, 0979 192 485, 0961 690 487, and 0955 997 997. Just remember that we're live on radio on FM 89.7 in Kitwe, which covers the Hokopa Belt. We've got Power FM Kabwe, which is 87.9, Power FM Livingston 102.4, and of course Power FM Lusaka on 91.3. We've got another caller coming through. Good morning, your name and where you're calling us from?
I'm calling you from Kabanana Maploti.
Kabanana Maploti, please tell us your name and, you're calling from Kabanana, but just tell us your name.
Kabaso.
Kabaso, please go ahead quickly so that we allow for other callers to come through.
Yeah. So I just wanted to talk out and speak out. The truth is that the government, what it's doing, is very bad because we need the electricity every day in our lives. Every day, electricity is an everyday need.
Yeah. We
have butchers, we have businesses depending on electricity every day. 90% of business things we do depend on electricity. So I don't know what the government thinks about that. I don't know what they think. If it's right or wrong, I don't know. But what they're doing isn't good.
Yeah.
Isn't good. As for me, on my part, to my own opinion, this government has failed us. We believed in it as the youth, but what it's doing, I don't support it.
All right.
Not even a bit. That's what I can say.
Yeah, thank you, Kabaso from Kabanana Maplot. Yeah, that's Kabaso from Kabanana Maplot. So as I was saying, catch us live on Beats TV 92.92, channel 92 rather, on Top Star. Maybe as we wait for calls, we can quickly respond. Just a minute with another caller. Your name and where you're calling us from. Good morning.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Please speak up. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
This is Mr. B. Brian from Chawama.
Mr. Brian from Chawama.
Yes, sir.
Please go ahead with your contribution or question.
What I can say, Mr. Antonio Mwanza is one of the failed projects. He was in Kiev, now he has formed it. He has left those with a fellow politician from Kiev. So now, he decided to form his own party. But we know him. Because what he was saying last 2021, he was busy saying, HH won't rule this country. HH won't rule. Now he has come again to say, 2026, I'm going to win. For what? You guys, you are going. Don't even be panicking yourself or doing anything. You are gone. And you will never come back. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Brian from within Lusaka. So I think we give you a chance to respond. You've heard.
Yes,
Mr. Brian.
Let me start with Mr. Brian.
Yeah.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you so much, Mr. Brian. I am a Democrat. That's why our political party is called Democratic Progressive Party.
Yeah.
So we trust that every Zambian must express themselves, and Mr. Brian is free to express himself in any way he wants. Yeah. That's all I can say. Bakabaso, you are right. There is no country which can drive an economy malait kulibe 21 hours a day. If you were a dollar, how do you operate?
Yeah.
And these things, they don't only end up at the economic issue, no. Malait is also used for entertainment. For instance, people can go watch football, watch a movie at home, and so on. Charge your phone, and so forth. Manje tienda na machaja, matumba tienda na machaja kumanja, kuzunguluka mabaya bantu, kusakira kochaja malait. It has got also a social aspect of it. And in the situation we are in, where people are stressed, because kulibe ndarama.
Yeah.
Muko economy mulibe ndarama zilizonse. Bantu bali stressed, bantu wana mankongole, wana makaloba, mafoni, kubantu. People are failing to take their children to school. There's a lot of stress, and a lot of men are suffering from mental health as a result of the stress that is going on. And without electricity, that even doubles the stress levels. So government just has to do what we have said. Let them reduce on the exports of power and let them provide the Zambians with the power. They have got 18 hours of power that ZESCO produces every day.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense that ZESCO only provides us with 3 hours in a day, but 15 hours is being exported or is being unaccounted for.
Yeah.
Varon, thank you so much. I totally agree with you. There's one thing that I want you to also take into consideration. Leadership is broad. There are so many good people in UPND, there are so many good people in SP, so many good people in PF, so many good people in DPP. All political formations have good people, and we want to take advantage of every good contribution from everybody.
Yeah.
It's not everybody who is good, but it's also not everybody who is bad. On the issue of Chirilo Chava Lungu, I am very close to the Lungu family, and as such, I wouldn't want to comment. All I can say is that I'm praying that government and the family will, in the effect of what has happened in court,
Yeah.
will resolve this matter. Other than that, I can't go any further because I've got interest in this.
Okay, thank you very much. We've got a caller. Good morning, your name and where are you calling us from?
Good morning. My name is Chole, calling you from Southern Province, Choma.
Mr. Chole calling from Choma. Please speak up and tell us your contribution or question for Mr. Mwanza.
Yes, Mr. Mwanza, good morning.
Good morning, Chole.
Yes, sir. Personally, I'm happy to see that you formed a political party, and I just need information and details on how we can work together here in Southern Province.
Thank you.
I have questions. I think I just have two questions. What plans does your party have for the youth in Southern Province? Because Choma, we do not have any industry. Choma, right now, we are suffering the water crisis, the water issues. It's as if this province has not stood faithfully with the youth party. So I just wanted to highlight more on the politics for the youths of Southern Province, and also just details on how I can contact you and see how I can work with your party. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'll leave my number when I leave the studios. Thank you so much, Bajor.
Right. Please keep those calls coming. 0955 997 997, 0961 690 487, and 0979 192 485. We've got Mr. Antonio Mwanza. His party was unveiled last week, the Democratic Progressive Party, and he's the president. Good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Good morning.
Yes, good morning, sir. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Ngoma, the president of Matero.
Mr. Ngoma, the president of Matero. Please, your contribution or question.
Okay. Akwa sumauka.
Tauka kwa sumauka tiani komboni kwatu.
Tiripawe mikono kwani kulipawe ntukusungira ni mpandwa.
Zikomo.
Amwanza?
Yeo.
Neona ma question ya tatu.
Okay.
Question yamba ni yakuti chwameti chitika pakati pa Patriotic Front na government ya UPND, you been as the top leaders, you know very well. Inchi kumutima kwanu chukunkalisha bwanji ngati mungaone ruling government wants to destroy the biggest opposition party. Do you not think that if they are finished with PF, they will come to your party? Question number one. Question number two. There is no way yautimama opposition political parties munga nkale pants to try to force this government to let the judiciary to be free, so that aliyonse Mzambians wamena nkana vuto akwanise kwenda kukoti atamange atandizike. Na wachantiona paka limanje nchakuti wamena atandizika kumakoti ni wamena emira kumbali ya government kapena kusupporta government. As long chabe wakaziwa kutusupporta government uziwe utiwe mtendelewa note Zambian. That's a number 2 question. Number 3 question. Why you opposition people? Simunga gwiriza na mwapanga chabe muntu umozi. Then mwapanga na mwamene munga sevenzele. Pali itima supporters vitu kusupporteni bwino na wantu wali pa ground wanawambele right now. Wamina waza kusupporteni bwino kuti mchinje chalo, chinkale bwino, choke mavuto ya metipita mpali inontawe ya kula maningi. Ya malaiti, vakudia na vasala. Why simunga gwiriza na zipolitical political party mwapanga umozi president mwasala magwirako mipando inangu. Na yami kila mwana wa mama ndiye question msenze luweme.
Isikomo.
Isikomo Ngoma from Matero. Yes, please, we'll take one more call and give Mr. Mwanza an opportunity to respond to those. We've got a message from Livingstone, gentleman from Livingstone who actually is asking why you would want, similar to what Mr. Ngoma is saying. But let's take this call and find out what the caller would. Good morning, your name and where you're calling us when we lost that caller. So similar question to Mr. Ngoma's position. Why bring another party when you could have just go ahead and joined somebody else? Good morning, your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello?
Good morning.
Morning.
Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Yeah, I'm calling you from Livingston.
Okay, good morning. Your name, sir?
Hello?
Your name?
Moses Phiri.
Mr. Moses Phiri from Livingston. Please go ahead with your contribution.
Am I live on radio?
Yes, sir, Phiri, you are live.
Yeah, okay, fine. Thank you very much. Good morning, Mr. Morning.
Morning, sir.
Please go ahead, Mr. Phiri, quickly.
Yes, I wanted just to find out, Mr. Tonyo Mwanza, kodi ma politician yava, ni ma technocrats kodi is a politician, a technocrat, kuti mukazifunza ma degree, mukazifunza machani, even the constitution yamene mufuna kopera eva ku South Africa, vajana ku South Africa, balibe ma qualification. Why are you insisting on qualification on a politician who is not a technocrat? Remember, leadership is endowed. It's a natural endowment. Technocrats are down to act, they are directors, what. That is why the leadership of Zambia today has gone to the top. Comment on that one.
Thank you.
All right. You can just lend us your responses, Mr. Mwanza.
Let me be very quick. Phiri has raised one important question.
Yeah.
My constitutional amendments are always contentious.
Yeah.
Kudala, kunali chabe mutali yes, as long as you are conversant mchizungu, that was the only qualification.
Yeah.
But the Zambian people debated this issue, grade 12, until finally they put the issue of a grade 12 in the constitution. Yes, leadership comes from God, but there's one thing that we always have to remember, that leaders must be people that are able to learn, to read, to write, to listen, to listen and listen and listen to the people. Yeah, so while maybe the certificate or degree might not be the best form to provide for leadership, but I still believe that a minimum understanding of government, first of all, government is a very complex entity.
Yeah.
You need to deal with audit reports, for instance. You need to read them and study them. Because if the technocrats realize that they are dealing with a leader who doesn't know, then there's a problem. And just to make it very, very clear, this is how government operates. The politicians making up the executive, the president and his cabinet, are policy makers. So you cannot develop a policy if you're ignorant. So the technocrat, the role of a technocrat is to implement government policy. So who develops that policy? Because a technocrat doesn't provide the policy. He implements a policy. Therefore, it goes without saying that those in government must learn, must listen, must understand, must know, must have the knowledge of the things they're talking about. So if you're going to talk about issues of labor, what is your policy as government on labor? You as politicians must provide the labor policy, which the technocrats will implement.
Yeah.
So the implementation of government policy is dependent on the technocrats, but the technocrats will only implement what the government, the politicians are proposing. So you can't have ignorant politicians in 2025. You can't. It's a nanny issue. Mm-hmm. That's why it's not even a question. Those that seek leadership must have knowledge of what they're talking about. When we say we have a minister of labor, that minister of labor must understand the labor market, must understand the challenges that the employees are going through, the challenges that employers are going through. He must be able to articulate those issues and come up with a policy now that he can tell the technocrats to implement. Ngoma, you have raised 3 questions and I'll answer them very quickly. Number 1, yes, democracy is under threat. Even as I'm speaking here on Power FM and all the other platforms, basakira pamene tuamena kamba basakira so bankala pansi basakira no, let's check ngatakambako vili vonse vamene tingamu charging for seditious practices or vamene tinga using for hate speech or kali konse kamene tinga using for cyber crime. So they are looking for crimes for all of us as political leaders. And I know, for instance, I've got intel that they are looking for cases they can put on me, because they have found that I'm clean. I've never worked in government. I've never had a government contract. I've never gotten enzude from government. I'm clean as a whistle, and I speak from the heart because I am a clean politician with a clear conscience. But I know that even as I'm speaking right now, bafuna paka bapeze kantu kamene using against me. But that will not work. I think government must also realize, and this I want to speak very clearly. We are in a democracy. We are not in an autocracy. And those in leadership must be ready to be criticized, because we are the ones who pay them. We are the taxpayers. They live in houses that we pay for. We pay for their water, for their electricity, for their food, for their shelter, for everything that they do. It's the Zambian people that pay them. So, abatinabangene sanshito. And patinabangene sanshito, they must listen to the Zambian people. Leadership is a service to the people. It's stewardship. Leadership is not a boss man, where bantu bakaziopa ukamba na boma, bantu baziopa to hold their president accountable. No, I want to encourage all Zambians to speak out very strongly on issues that affect them, on the issues of lack of jobs, lack of electricity, the high cost of living. Speak freely, it's your country. And to our leaders, please, you must listen and act on these issues. Yes, the judiciary has come under attack, but again, this is a issue that we have to work on in terms of legislation. How do we strengthen the judiciary? One of the things that we propose as Democratic Progressive Party, DPP, is the independence, financial independence of the judiciary. One of the challenges the judiciary have is that they're dependent on the central government. Yeah. And he who pays the piper calls the tune. We strongly believe in the recommendations that LAS, the Law Association of Zambia, has made. We endorse those recommendations that government must free the education from control in terms of the finances. We want the judiciary to be financially independent so that our judges, our magistrates can dispense justice without fear, with freeness and fairness to all. Issues of unity. The last thing was unity. Yeah. That's why I say kunkalaba Democratic Progressive Party by DPP. Tita na wonse zipani zonse za technically pamoja zitenzere pamoja. Chamekitita demand kuli ise kumbali kwatu is that posebenzera pamoja si kusebenzera pamoja ugabana chabe mipando basata banakana ifya kwakana ifipuna Let us agree on what we are going to offer to the Zambian people, because being in opposition doesn't simply mean condemning everything that government is doing. Being in opposition means two things. First, providing checks and balances, holding the government accountable, but it also means that you have to provide alternative policy. Yeah. So us in opposition also must be very clear what we want to do for the people of Zambia. And we as DPP, Democratic Progressive Party, we are saying, we call for a unity of purpose, unity that is based on economic and political and social agenda for Zambia. It's not about just us politicians coming together to a winner, to a kanafipuna, then what happens to the rest of the people? Because Zambians are the ones who suffer. The politicians never suffer. Every government comes in, Zambia, the politicians go in. They find a way to survive. They find a way to get jobs. And for them, they are safe. But what happens to the people in Chazanga? For us as Democratic Progressive Party, we want to sit with our fellow opposition political parties and agree on the following. On mining, what are we going to do? Because for us as DPP, we believe mining, no mine shall entirely be owned by foreigners. Under the Democratic Progressive Party, all mining assets in this country must have the majority shareholding in the hands of the Zambia and the Zambian people. Do our friends agree with that model? Or they want Bamwisa to continue exploiting us? We, for instance, believe that in the banking sector, Chomba, out of 17 banks that we have, only 2 banks are the banks where we have shareholding, Zanaco and Indo-Zambia Bank. Forget about Zambia Commercial and Industrial Bank, it is defunct. We believe that we must have our own Zambian-owned banks. We believe that we must give tax breaks to all Zambian local firms. We believe that we have to operationalize and professionalize the concept of chirimba chisebenza makomboni, We want to sit down with the communities, with Bazimai, and find out how can we help them. Ma technocrats bafana banaenda kumabanacha banking and finance, like you who have done banking and finance, to sit down with us and tell us, Bane, this is how we can help Bazimai bamene bachita chirimba. To formalize and to help them on the capital. Government can inject 1 billion kwacha in the microfinancing of chirimba and formalizing.
Yeah.
Do our friends on the other side, do they agree on this? So for us, we want to have a unity that is based on programs for Zambia. It's not enough just to say, tuleombela pamo, tuwaikatana, tulefuwa kufumiapo baka inde, but we don't have a program for the Zambian people. We don't believe in that. Our politics is very different. Our politics is on issues, is on what is affecting the Zambian people. It's on how can we create jobs for the young people? How can we create wealth for the young people? How can we improve the unity of this country? That is what we stand for. So if you kukatana fie, atufunye pabaka inde, then tatuko the plan to help the Zambian people. Tema alliance yayo.
As we wait for more calls, how would you rate the opposition right now, the opposition atmosphere right now in the country, as you are on that point? And we've got a message from Mr. Brian from Chawama, who says that he wants to find out why you left PF, and do you believe that Mr. Chavinga is the PF president? But before you answer these two calls, let's pick up this call as well, so that we combine those. Good morning, your name and where you're calling us from.
Morning, Mwanza here. Mr. President, how are you?
Mr. Mwanza, where are you calling us from?
Lusaka.
From Lusaka, go ahead.
Don't forget to flash out your contact details, please.
I'll do that, Mwanza. Immediately after the program, I'll announce the number.
Yeah, we'll give him an opportunity to flash them out before he closes, as he's closing his remarks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, that was it. So
he wanted the number.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, so very quickly, Brian. In PF, after we lost power in 2021, we had a postmortem, and the postmortem report was very detailed. It says the things that we needed to do as PF to rebrand, and one of the things that the postmortem report recommended was that the Patriotic Front needed to go to the General Conference to elect a new president. Yeah. And in the Central Committee that was held, I, Antonio Mourinho Mwanza, I'm the one who moved the motion for a date for a general conference in the Patriotic Front. Unfortunately, the PF did not have a general conference. And I warned then that if the PF doesn't go to a general conference and elect new leaders, it will leave itself open to hijackers, and people will come and use that window to disrupt the party. Yeah. I think today all of us can agree that had the party followed my submission, had the party followed my submission today, the Patriotic Front could have been intact. Unfortunately, they didn't, and you have seen what has happened. Yeah. Outsiders have come in, and outsiders have hijacked the party, and they are trying to destroy the party. If we just implemented the recommendations of the committee that did the postmortem, the PF would have survived.
Yeah. Good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Good morning, boss. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
This is Bomu Sanje calling you from Kanyama Central, Zambia.
Bomu Sanje, we are welcome. Quickly, your contribution or question for Mr. Mwanza.
Mourinho.
Bomu Sanje. So mwenshito kulikonga chemu ma radio but nikakuzante ntikumane mutaba. So aza kuchosani mu UPND imwe na imwe ndisema friends. Swanga kuchose na because takumana. So nishute ni mkasiza kunishuta tikumane ni bera mtaoni.
Ya ikulibela vo kushuta ni boss ndimwe ma prophet.
Ni family.
Yes, balibe vo kushuta ni boss ndimwe ma prophet. Munachita jambe kuno mnase kukamsaka. I like it. What you did is just the way to go, honorable. Our president, just continue. Chamene sufuna jabe niji jaja kuti you have got no formula bamene bakambira bambiri hapo bamene mwakambira ima kuti no tufuna jabe kujosa hakainde oro kapena nifuna nikarete body yaba hakainde ine mukandivota nifuna nikarete body yaba rungu. The way you are explaining, Mr. President, that's the way to go. We just encourage you for John.
Thank you.
We need more competitors so that we shall have a abundant where to choose. I like it. You encourage more youth.
Zikomo.
Tayamikira fomu yanga mulungu azikutalisani as you try to come and save Zambia. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, that's Mr. Msanja from within Lusaka. Yeah, so maybe I'll allow you at this point, and I'll tell our viewers and listeners that we'll close phone lines so that we just allow you to give your closing remarks.
Yeah.
But before you do, I would like for you to just quickly rate. Okay, we'll take this call. This has been a persistent caller. Good morning, your name and where you're calling us from. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hey, how are you?
Fine, thank you. You're through to the Political Podcast. Your name and where you're calling us from.
Okay, this is Mosten Sikumbi from Livingston.
Mr. who?
Mosten Sikumbi.
Mr. Sikumbi from Livingston. Please go ahead quickly with your contribution.
Okay, I just want to greet Mr. President first. How are you, Mr. President?
I'm very fine, Mr. Sikumbi. How are you, sir?
Okay, I'm all right.
Thank you.
Me, I'm seeing challenges like, although we can be good in whatever we do, but we can't make it in democracy because they'll sanction you whenever you are into power. You see that, Mr. President?
Mm-hmm.
So we need Pan-Africa for Africa to be free, Mr. President.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Mr. Sikumbi from Livingston. Yeah, so maybe a comment on...
Yes, I think what Mr. Sikumbi was trying to say is that even good intentions are corrupted because power is corrupt.
Yeah.
And we know that power is corrupt and absolute power corrupts absolutely. He also touches on the issue of Pan-Africanism, which is part of what DPP stands for. We believe very strongly that Africa has enough resources and enough market within itself.
Yeah.
You know, you can grow maize and sell to Congo. You can grow beans and sell to South Africa. You can grow cotton and sell to Egypt. We have enough market within Africa itself to trade within ourselves. Yeah. We don't even need the Western world. We have the natural resource, we have the human resource, and we have the market. All that we need to do is to integrate. That's why one of the key issues for us as Democratic Progressive Party when it comes to foreign policy is a foreign policy that defends the national interest of Zambia. And the national interest of Zambia is to put Zambia first.
Yeah.
And to make sure that whatever decision we make, it's in the interest of Zambia and Zambians. And yes, power corrupts, and that's the reason why we cannot leave it to the goodness of the hearts of those who are in power. That will use to ensure that we safeguard the interests of the Zambian people.
Yeah. Before you wind up, we've got a text message from Mr. Gwejebu from Chipata who's asking, do you have the financial muscle to run as the president?
A very good question. Bagwedezi, kulibe president muno Mzambia anayozinga ndarama zake. Kulibe. Olo kwa Amerika, kulibe president anayozinga ndarama zake. Kulibe. Basata swala zinga ndarama zao kuwina. Balungu swala zinga ndarama zao kuwina. Basami swala zinga ndarama zao kuwina. Bakaunda swala zinga ndarama zao kuwina. Bachiruba swala zinga ndarama zao kuwina. Bamwanawasa swala zinga ndarama zao kuwina. Kulibe president nangu amdala rupia banda anasebenzisa ndarama zake za matumba kuwina chipano kulibe. Nangu Amerika, nangu Mozambique, nangu Malawi swapa. Kulibe president umozi nangu achakwira nangu ambingu aminatenga ayuzinga ndarama zake kuwina. So what creates the president is the people surrounding the president. What creates the president is the belief of you and the Zambian people to contribute your time, to contribute your strategies, to contribute your resources. We are using everything that God has given us. We are using our time, our energy, we are using our money, but we strongly believe that the Zambian people believe in what we are pushing. What we are pushing is an agenda to make Zambia prosperous, to make Zambia united. Our agenda is the only agenda that will work to allow Zambians to have control and ownership of your economy. Control your construction, control the contracts you are giving to the people. They should come to the Zambian people. The mines belong to the Zambian people. Mukula belongs to the Zambian people. Gold belongs to the Zambian people. Emerald belongs to the Zambian people.
Yeah.
Land belongs to the Zambian people. Wildlife belongs to the Zambian people. We, the Zambian people, have been given everything by God. And the Democratic Progressive Party, DPP, says we want to take control and ownership of these things, create jobs for our young people, create opportunities for our young people, create wealth for our own country. And you, Wagwedes, and everybody else who believes in this dream will give us money.
Yeah. So, your closing remarks?
My closing remarks is that thank you so much to Power FM, to Beats FM, Ya FM, all the radio stations, all the platforms that you have given us.
Yeah.
And I want to commend you that you are giving this space freely to all of us, which is a cost on the institution, but you are contributing to the democracy of this country. And we are very grateful. To the Zambian people, I say, please look at us, your young generation. This generation of today must rise up. The generation of today must provide that leadership that is needed. We want councillors, we want mayors, we want members of parliament. Use the Democratic Progressive Party as your party. Wherever you are in Chavuma, if you want to be a councillor, contact us. Wherever you are, the number is 0971 026618. 0971 026618. Contact us anywhere you are. Let us build a party that is based on empowering Zambia and the Zambian people. We can do it, and we will do it together. I thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Antonio Mwanza, for coming through to the podcast. Hope to see you soon, and in between now and then, all the best.
Thank you so much. We are looking forward to a second time.
All right. Thanks. Yeah, so that was your political podcast with me, Yowela, and it also comes to an end. Looking forward to next week. Remember to subscribe on the YouTube channel. Look for the political podcast to get this one and the old ones, and of course, just to make sure you don't miss out on the next podcast. Have a good day.
This has been the Political Podcast. Be sure to tune in next week, Wednesday, for another exciting episode. The views expressed on this program are not the views of the platform or the presenter. Zambia, it's time to go deeper into stories, into facts, into truth. Introducing the Political Podcast with Yowela Chomba, where bold conversations meet real issues. Every Wednesday from 10 hours to 11 hours, join Yowela Chomba as he unpacks the week's biggest political headlines, challenges, and status quo, and gives voice to the issues affecting every Zambian. Whether it's governance, policy, accountability, or leadership, no topic is off limits. Real questions,